This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Williams versus Williams. You all are married, you've been together for 9 years, you have 2 children together, but this happy, this perfect, this loving marriage may all come to a grinding halt based on the outcome of this proceeding today. Is that right, Ms. Williams?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell us why you've opened this case.
I opened this case because I do believe that Mr. Williams is cheating on me. I do believe there's a lot of infidelity going on within our marriage. I think that there's a couple of things that I just can't ignore that's leading me to believe that there is someone else or maybe several other people that he may be cheating on me with.
Mr. Williams, you've heard these accusations. How do you feel about being accused of cheating?
I'm tired of it, to be honest with you. Nobody wants to be not cheating and being accused of cheating. That's like you're not getting the pleasure part of it, but you're just getting the accusation part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I love her to death. That's why I can't approve myself. But at the same time, if that continues going on, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to be in that situation, to be 100% honest with you.
So, these accusations can't come out of nowhere. Ms. Williams, what are the warning signs?
The warning signs is that I found a earring back in his car, in the front passenger seat of his work car, when his clients ride in the back. He comes home very late. He gets off of work around 6, and I don't see him until 12, 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. And the other warning sign is that we don't have sex as often as we used to.
Oh, wow, that's quite a trio you got going there.
Yeah.
Oh, so you said that you found an earring back. I mean, an earring back, that's not a big deal. Why would that be a big deal?
Well, Your Honor, this is the thing. I will only wear a specific kind of earrings.
Okay.
Do you mind if I show you?
Ron, would you bring that up to us, please?
Thank you. This is the earring back that I found in the passenger seat of his car.
Of his car?
Yes, and these are the earrings that I wear. Do you mind if you?
He'll bring it up to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
I don't wear the earrings that have the back that you pop on the back.
Oh.
I just wear the ones that you just put it in your...
You put it and you clasp.
So this is
Yes.
self-clasping.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't need backs.
Right.
See, I learned that all these years of buying nice earrings for Judge Cutler. So I know the difference.
This guy. But this picture is of an earring back that you would slide on the post.
Yes.
And if you don't wear those kind of earrings, you don't understand why that kind of earring back is in his car.
Yes, Your Honor.
At the end of the day, Your Honor, all of this is falsehoods. Like, I do drive a taxi. I also engineer as well, like an audio engineer. So my times is crazy when I get home. The number one reason I can tell you she think I'm cheating, to be 100% honest with you, is the things I do with her. Like, when we do have sex and when the sex was great and all of that, like, she knows I'm down to do everything. Like, I'll rub her back, kiss her feet, ETB.
I'm too young for where you going.
You know ETB.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, and I'm scared to ask it.
All of that. You know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and do all of that.
So why would she have a problem with that? I can't imagine any woman would have a problem with that. Why do you think she has a problem with that?
I think that she thinks that the thing I'm doing with her, I might be doing with other women, and that scares her. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm curious about, though, is you said one of the warning signs is you're having less sex.
Yeah.
He's saying it's because of the sex you all do have and all the things he's doing. That's scaring you. So is it less sex or is it what he's doing sexually with you?
Well, I'm a Scorpio and he's a Scorpio. So when it was normal, it was like 3-4 times a week. Now that went to 3 times a month.
Oh, that's
that
a decrease.
That's a huge decrease.
And that wasn't on your part?
No, it wasn't on my part. So I know if we're not doing the deed in our married home, then somebody's doing the deed for him.
I see how it look.
Yeah, I mean, you go from 3-4 times a week to 3 times a month.
At the end of the day, like, I'm not some animal that can't control myself. Like, I'm not somebody that just gotta run around. I love sex.
I'm not saying that.
I love sex, don't get me wrong, but I'm not the type that can't control myself and, abstain myself if I need to. And that's what I've been doing. Like,
But why has it decreased?
to be honest with you, she ain't gonna like this, but like, we used to have great sex. Now she has lazy sex. I don't wanna have lazy sex.
Okay, have you talked to her about it?
I mean, I vaguely talk about how you had that conversation. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, you
Honor,
had it right here.
Yeah, but everything out here now, we might as well keep going.
What is lazy sex?
That's like when it's like you gotta wake the person up and then they not all the way up. I don't wanna do that. Like,
Okay, but admittedly, I've been married a couple of months.
okay.
I'm listening. I want to hear how this ends up.
Where am I going?
Yeah, where you going with
It
this?
ain't gonna always be like a trapeze and a trampoline, and sometimes it's gonna be like, yeah, okay.
I ain't trying to be in y'all business.
I mean, that don't mean I love you less. It's just like, you know, all right, I feel you.
I'm not sure how I want to react to that.
Just roll with it.
Just roll with
In
it.
y'all business or whatever, but at the end of the day, I know he ETB when it comes down to it, because he want to keep the relationship going. He want to keep the marriage happy.
Well, what is that?
Eat the Your Honor.
Oh! Wow! Oh, I knew I shouldn't have asked. I shouldn't have asked.
If I'm going to that length, I'm not trying to have somebody half.
Oh, okay.
You know, so at the end of the day, it's that. And then I do keep crazy hours. I'm not gonna lie, act like I don't keep crazy hours, because I do. So I can see how it'd be misconstrued as me doing something, but in no actuality, I'm not. And in fact, the matter is, I'm joking and laughing and stuff, but if this don't stop, I'm gonna be ghost. Like, I'm not gonna keep putting up with this.
How do we go from happy times and ETB to you accusing him of cheating?
Well, another reason is because I was looking for my charger in the back of his car, and I saw a bag of T-shirts with just T-shirts stuffed in the bag in the back of his car. And he said, oh, well, sometimes when I'm working, I get hot and I get sweaty, and I just take my sweaty shirt off and I just want to put a clean shirt on. I was like, okay,
I drive taxis.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can put a clean shirt on. So I decided to investigate a little bit further. So I went back to get the bag, and I opened it, and a strong smell came out.
Okay.
Like a perfume smell.
Okay.
So I took a shirt out of the bag, Your Honor, if I may.
Wow. Rob, would you please get that? So that's a shirt from out the bag.
Yes.
Is it a clean shirt or not clean shirt?
Well, this is the thing. It smells, it has a scent on it that it smells like a thought scent, Your Honor.
Wow.
A thought scent?
Yes. It's
I didn't know they had
cherry
that as a
blossom.
fragrance anymore. I didn't know that. Mr. Williams, why does this T-shirt smell like a woman?
Your Honor, to be 100% honest with you, like, when I drive taxis, I like my taxi to smell a certain way. Like, I don't like it to be stank. I don't like nobody to come in there, like,
You
because
like it to
sometimes you
smell
get
like
people
thoughts.
that, okay, whatever.
Why does it smell so fruity?
Somebody could have dropped someone. See, I could have picked it up with that.
He has a story for everything.
If you're going coulda, you could have been with a woman. We're not dealing with what could have happened. I want to know what did happen.
Your Honor, if I may interject, she knows, no disrespect, that the sex right now is not up to par. So I think that's half the reason for her insecurities. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. You
Your
know what I'm
Honor,
saying?
we have a 10-month-old and we have a 4-year-old. Sometimes I get tired.
Don't they say the things you do to keep them? I mean, get them is the things you gotta do to keep them. So don't get somebody and then change up.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Sex starts here. If this ain't right, she ain't gonna want to be with you.
Right.
Have you found anything that makes you think that he's cheating?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, what have you found?
Well, I have found condoms in my house.
I know it. Come on.
I do have evidence if you'd like me to show you the explanation, Your Honor.
Sure.
Come on, who's gonna be crazy enough to...
Hold on, Mr. Williams.
Hold on, Mr. Williams. We're gonna get to you.
Yes.
I was looking for the salt in the paprika, Your Honor. I couldn't find it. It was like pushed back in the back of the cabinet. So I keep reaching my hand further back and back and back, and I start to feel some cardboard. So I pull it out, and it's a box of condoms in the back of my kitchen cabinet.
Ew.
Now the kitchen is my space.
Right.
Everybody, because I'm the one that cooks most of the meals in the house. Mr. Williams, Deshaun, was also at our house when I found this box of condoms. And I said, okay, so which one of you guys does this belong to? And they tried to feed me a story saying that it was there when we moved in the house.
Had to be.
Mr. Williams, I know you're trying to spice things up, but
who's gonna be crazy enough to be cheating, bring condoms home, put them in your kitchen where you know your wife is gonna be at? Like,
You could
Do
have
you
had a girl in the
wait?
house.
Do you all use
come on
condoms
now.
in your marriage?
No. And this was also the brand of condoms that me and Timothy did used to use before we got serious. So I know they have to belong to him.
I don't believe those are my brand, Your Honor.
at the end of the day, what's your explanation
They
for
either
why
had to
the
be-
condoms were found in the spice cabinet?
They had to be there when I moved in, 100%, or they had to be my brothers. Like,
Okay, let's hear from your brother.
he said they might be his, but I...
We want to get your name for the record.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Your whole name, please.
Deshaun Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams. This is your brother,
Yeah.
and you were there when the condoms were found in the kitchen.
Yes, I was there.
All right. What did you tell Miss Williams about those condoms, where they came from, or how they came to be there?
I told her I didn't know because, I love my sister-in-law to death, but behind this situation, it actually spilled over into my household.
So now that the drama has spilled and has unfolded, you're here in court right now.
Yeah.
Want to tell the truth. So tell Miss Williams where the condoms came from.
Please.
Okay, this is exactly what happened. We, I don't know if you heard of Something in the Water, because we live in the Virginia area. So we went to the Something in the Water festival or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So we all chilling out, hanging out in their house after the show or whatever. And everybody starts leaving. Everybody starts going home one by one. Everybody's gone. And then one of our friends, he leaves out the door. And then he come running back in like, oh, I can't take this home. Here, you hold this for me. So he passed me.
Talking to you?
Yeah, talking to me.
Okay.
He wasn't even there. He was in the house, but he wasn't around at the area.
For the conversation.
Exactly.
He didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was like right at the door. He came back, passed it to me like, here, hold this. I can't take it home. So it was late. We was drinking. I was tired. So I was like, all right. And then when it was time for me to go home, I thought about it. I said, I can't take this home either. And the kitchen is right by the front door, so I just...
Well, that's not.
But you know what else is in the kitchen?
What's that?
A trash can.
But I didn't want to throw his property away, though.
Thank you.
But you do understand that this story sounds real crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy weekend. It was.
And that wasn't the story that when I asked you.
That's what I was
guys-
getting ready to ask you. What did they tell you when you found them?
They said that they both said, I don't know whose it is, that was here when we moved in the house.
That's
We've been
right.
in the house a year and a half, Your Honor. I packed this cabinet up because the kitchen that's my space.
I was gonna ask you, when you put the salt in there, would you have thought these people who had this house before were nasty?
Yes,
'Cause
they must have been really frisky.
I really
to leave a
didn't
whole
know where
box
they
of
came from.
condoms
I
in the
didn't
kitchen.
know where they
Think
came
about
from.
it.
Honor, to be
My brother
100%
wasn't
honest with you.
around.
I didn't
He didn't
know.
even know that they were there.
Thank you so much for
Oh
your
yeah, no
testimony.
problem. My brother's innocent.
Yeah, I'm
No,
definitely
they
Your
always
brother's
take up for
innocent.
each other, Your Honor.
Definitely innocent,
They
bro.
always
Brother's
take up for
innocent.
each other.
So here's what we have. He's staying out late. You found an earring back in his car. You don't wear those type of earrings. You found a T-shirt that he claims that he's using to change up.
Yeah.
But when you smelled it, it smelled like thought.
Yes.
And then the one that puts me on my feet is the condoms in the kitchen
Yes.
that you found in the cabinet. And you've been told, oh, they were either here when you moved in, or I don't know, or a buddy's.
I've been told several stories about that, Your Honor.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so for all those reasons, you believe Mr. Williams is cheating.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. This is where we are, and the stakes are exceedingly high because literally a young, beautiful family is at risk.
Because you got an answer for everything and she doesn't believe any of your answers. So we're going to find out what the answers are because we've done a full and a complete investigation.
Yep.
At this time, the court will call a certified polygraph examiner, Kendall Scholl, to determine, is he cheating? John, please escort Mr. Scholl in. Mr. Scholl, how are you today?
Great, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Thank you.
For the record, would you state your credentials, please?
I spent almost 30 years with the FBI and spent my entire career in Washington, D.C. When I retired from the Bureau, I was actually chief of the entire FBI's polygraph program.
And you conducted a polygraph examination of Mr. Williams, is that correct?
I did, Your Honor.
The first question you asked Mr. Williams. You asked him, did you use any of the condoms that your wife found in the kitchen cabinet to have sexual intercourse with another woman? What was his response to that question?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined he was being truthful, Your Honor.
That's one. That's just one.
Brother's innocent.
She's smiling. I'm glad to see a piece of
Oh, okay.
smile. You asked Mr. Williams, since you've been married, have you had physical sexual contact with anyone other than Mrs. Williams? Would that include ETB?
ETB, top of the list.
I should have never said that.
He's like, yes.
Yeah.
You
I think
learned
he
something
probably
new
would,
today.
Your Honor, yeah.
All right. What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined he was also being truthful on that.
Oh, she's so happy.
I want to apologize.
All right, Mr. Williams, let me talk to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to encourage you to be gracious toward your bride.
Okay.
All right, now I'm gonna talk to you.
That's real.
You know how good you treat him, you do things for him, you cook the dinner for him, you bring it to him in bed.
Yes.
Sweeten that pot a little more.
You all are engaged, you've been together for 7 years, and you previously appeared in paternity court because of concerns over the paternity of your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
And now you're here in our court, and you brought 2 women with you this morning because you have concerns over his alleged cheating. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's at stake here today?
Our engagement, our entire life is at stake. We just recently got engaged, and I'm pregnant with our second child, and we're planning to get married next spring, and I just have had reasons to believe that he's cheating, and I just don't want to say I do if I can't trust him.
So what does that feel like? You're expecting, you have a child with him. How do you feel knowing or believing that he's cheating?
Overwhelmed and hurt and just a million different emotions.
It must be extremely upsetting to be expecting and having all this going on. This should be a joyful time in your life.
Yes.
And I suspect that it isn't.
I'm ready to get it over with and find out, if we're gonna move forward and say, I do.
So, but if you find out he's cheating, what's gonna happen?
It'll be off.
You'll be done.
It'll be done. I'm a firm believer in marriage, and marriage is a big deal. A lot of people take it lightly, but it's a very big deal to me, and you can't marry somebody and build a life with them and not be able to trust them.
I get that.
Mr. Callender, there's a lot at stake here.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
What are you here to prove?
I'm here to prove that I have not cheated, not one time. I've been completely faithful for the whole 7 years, and I don't know why I get accused every single day. I don't know if it's her insecurities or just past, knowledge of other relationships I've been in, but, I've been with her 7 years. If I was gonna cheat on her, I wouldn't be wasting my time 7 years later. Every time I get a message from a girl, I end up deleting it because I don't want to cause any more drama, and that's what I get accused of, hiding conversations.
So, Ms. Polzin, why do you think he's cheating now?
Recently, I had a girl that I don't really know, but she worked for me about 5 or 6 years ago. She came to my place of work, and she said, I've got something to tell you. I was just kind of like, okay. And she said, the week you were going to Myrtle Beach, I spent the week with your boyfriend, and I just thought you should know. I was just caught off guard. I just stood there dumb. I was like, is that it? I didn't know what else to say. And she said, yep, that's it. I said, all right then. And
So, Mr. Callender.
Thank you. Yeah, what do you say to that?
Well,
I had a buddy stop in while they were gone to Myrtle Beach. I had the house to myself, so he figured he'd come over and we'll hang out and party. Well, I didn't know he was bringing a girl with him, and as far as I know, that was his girl. We were hanging out, and then we discussed Miss Polzin, and that's how I found out that the girl had actually worked for her and got fired. And the girl started trash talking, oh yeah, I don't like her and this and that. And another buddy of mine called and said a friend of mine had to be rushed to the hospital, so I dipped out from my house, and they left, parted ways, and that was the last time I seen them. She was only there for maybe an hour.
Well, why in the world would she go to your girlfriend, your fiancé, and say, I spent the week with...
I don't know if it was a grudge she had against her for getting fired, for her firing her, or what. I couldn't understand it.
But you're thinking, because I know what I'm thinking, who stops by my place of employment and says, by the way, just thought you should know I spent the week with your boyfriend.
right.
Yeah. And now we have this 7-year relationship that's on the line because you now have someone telling you, hey, I was with your man, right?
Right.
This could be the end of your relationship.
Oh, honey, it's okay. It's okay.
It's overwhelming.
Here's the thing. You'll know up or down so you can make some good decisions, right? All
Right.
Now, I see you have a witness here. Would you please stand up to the podium so we can hear from you? Would you please state your name?
Karen Allen.
All right, Miss Allen, what is your relationship to the litigants?
I'm Anthony's mother.
You're his mother.
Yes.
And you're testifying on behalf of Ms. Polzin.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow.
Okay. Well, let me just ask the question. Do you believe that Mr. Callender is cheating?
100%.
100%?
Yes, sir. When we go to the beach, I have a timeshare. Each year, we go to the beach. My son stays at my home to take care of my dogs. And this happened before a young lady stayed at my home with my son, or the allegation was made. And he actually sent a picture to Rachel while we were on vacation of the girl in Rachel's house. So when it happened the second time with the young lady going to her work, to me it was like, okay, he thinks that when we go out of town, out of sight, out of mind. I think in his mind it's, okay, they're on vacation, I'm on vacation.
What kind of picture did he send?
It was a girl sitting on Rachel's sofa.
Okay. Was she nude or was she...
Recognized the sofa.
Okay, but she was dressed.
She
it
was
wasn't...
dressed,
Okay,
yes.
so it was like, okay.
Oh, yes, and said, don't worry, I'm not lonely.
Your own mother is here testifying that you're cheating, that when the cat's away, the mouse is playing big time. What do you have to say about that?
Well, my mother had also told me that while they were down there that Miss Polzin was seeing another man.
Okay, but see, this is another instance. She already said that you're accusing her trying to deflect our attention from what you're doing. And I'm asking you, your own mother, who knows you probably better than almost anybody else in the world.
Mamas know. So
is
let me
saying
be clear.
that you're being with other women.
And that you sent pictures of other women in Miss Polzin's home.
I was having a party. I had some friends over. I was just letting her know I wasn't there all by myself.
So out of all the people at the party you could have sent a picture of to her, you chose to send a picture of a woman.
It was actually a video.
Oh, well, step it up a notch.
Okay, well,
okay. That makes
doesn't
it
make it better.
That doesn't.
I mean, and I'm just thinking of it from a guy's perspective. If you wanted to show that you were being innocent, that you weren't doing anything that was wrong, you probably would include some guys' pictures in the video, right?
A group picture.
You just wouldn't show a girl.
But I think what really sets it off, Cutler, is the fact that he says, don't worry about it, I'm not lonely. Here's a pic. Yeah,
that's kind of get that little dig in there.
That's a little dig in there. That's, as our sons would say, that's petty.
And that's what I believe, that he wants her to feel like, okay, appreciate me because someone else will.
So, Ms. Polzin, how does it make you feel that your potential future mother-in-law is saying, honey, yeah, this is what my son does?
All right, well, I'm just hoping that today maybe we can see if it really is or not, you know.
Ms. Polzin, I mean, we've heard from his mother, but you've actually brought another witness with you who says he's cheating. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, we want to hear from her. Ron, would you escort the witness in, please?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are y'all?
Good. Okay, would you please state your name for the record?
Heidi Mack.
Miss Mack, what is your relationship to the litigants?
I am Anthony's ex. We have a child together, and I've always kept in touch with his mother, and now me and Rachel are friends.
Why did your relationship with Mr. Callender end?
Basically the same thing. He just jealousy. It was always him accusing me of doing things, you know, just really the same thing. He is a smooth talker, and he could talk his way out of anything.
So you're saying he would be accusing you of cheating?
Oh, yes.
And did he cheat on you?
He would always deny it, and I would always believe him. And then when we finally broke up, he finally told me, yes, I cheated on you the whole time. So.
Mr. Callender, Not only do you have your own mother saying that you're cheating, now we have an ex that says you cheated and lied about it.
Well, I don't deny my past, but, you know, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. People change.
So have you changed?
Yeah. I learned from my mistakes.
But here's the thing, it's the exact same pattern. She says, I accused you, you denied it. You accused me, I wasn't. Same thing here. She's saying, are you cheating? You're denying it, but you're accusing her of cheating to the point that you actually appeared in paternity court about your firstborn child. And it was your baby. And the cherry on the top of this is that your mother's like, yeah, I think he's doing this.
Well, I mean, if I was, I wouldn't have wasted 7 years.
You know, Ms. Polzin, I'm watching Mr. Callender. I'm watching the expression on his face, and I don't know that he's taking this as seriously as I think he should be taking it. Tell him what today's proceeding means to you and what's going to happen if the results come back and show that he's cheating.
If the results come back and show he's cheating, we can't go any further with our future. And it means a lot to me because, like I said, we've had 7 years together, and I wasted a lot of time if, you know, it was for nothing.
And this means everything to you.
Yes.
Well, because this means everything to you, because this means everything about your future, this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, the court will call certified polygraph examiner Dave Lawrence to determine, is he cheating? Ron, please escort Mr. Lawrence in.
Dave Lawrence.
How are you, Mr. Lawrence?
Doing fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to see you.
You performed a polygraph examination on Mr. Callender, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I did. But before I present the results, I'd like to submit this information to the court.
Okay. Ron, would you grab that, please?
Yes, John. Thanks, sir. Your Honor.
Thank you, love.
So this is a note regarding your polygraph examination of Mr. Callender. And it says, Mr. Callender had to be warned numerous times about using breathing techniques during the test. Wow. He then said he suffered from asthma and bronchitis, none of which would have any effect on these test results.
Okay.
So he's using breathing techniques. What do you mean by that?
It's a technique that's going to control breathing along with suppression. It's commonly referred to as countermeasures.
You know how to go in and make sure that those countermeasures don't affect the test. Is that correct?
That's correct. I had to omit some of the areas within the test. I still collect enough data that I can make a conclusion.
So somebody like Mr. Callender can't beat you or the test. Is that correct?
I'm very confident he didn't do it this time.
All right. And
So you asked Mr. Callender a series of questions, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
You asked Mr. Callender, during your 7-year relationship, have you had physical, sexual contact with anyone while Ms. Polzin was out of town? What was his response to that question?
Your Honor, he said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined he was being deceptive.
So while the cat's away, the mouse does play, doesn't he, Mr. Callender?
all right. You also asked Mr. Callender, have you ever had sexual intercourse with a woman who claimed she spent the week with you while your girlfriend or fiancée was out of town? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive.
What do you want to say to your fiancée, the woman who is carrying your child?
I didn't do it.
That's all you got?
You know, your mouth is saying one thing, but your face, your body, your whole demeanor is saying something else. Because sitting up here, I don't get the impression that you're taking this seriously. I don't think that you think she's gonna walk out that door. You got that look on your face like, yeah, it'll be all right, it'll be all right.
Now, let me tell you something. You are beautiful. You are a lovely young lady. Any man would be happy to treat you like you should be treated. And I know that you're standing here going, but I've got a child on the way, blah, blah, blah. There's a man out there. We see them here every day where they're being cheated on, and they're great guys who want somebody just like you. They want a family, okay?
You all are engaged. You've known each other since you were 7 years old. But today may be the last day of this relationship, depending on what happens here in this courtroom. Am I right, Mr. Lowe?
Correct.
All right. You've brought this case. Tell us why.
I believe that she's cheating on me. She's very secretive with her cell phone. She has passcodes that she changes. I have a passcode on mine. She knows the passcode to it.
I can see it all over your face. This is really hurting you.
Yes.
Tell me about how you feel thinking that your fiancé is cheating.
It kills me.
Okay.
I'm a stay-at-home father with our kids. She goes to work.
So you're home, keeping the home, she's working, but you think that sometimes there's something else going on, that she's not being true to you.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Meyer?
Ms. Meyer, your fiancé says you're cheating on him.
That is not true. I did not cheat on him. I have not ever cheated on him. As far as my cell phone goes with the password on it, I'm just being petty. All he's got to do is ask to see my phone, and I'll let him see it.
And he doesn't ask, so you don't let him see it?
Nope.
Well, they say the hungry bird has to open his mouth, so...
I definitely do ask.
But you understand how you are fueling these suspicions that you're cheating on him.
I do. I'm just being petty.
So you admit that?
I admit it.
All right, well, the first step is admission, Mr. Cutler, so...
Let me make sure I got this straight. No. Let me make sure I got this straight. You all are engaged to be married, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you admit to being petty.
Yes.
That's not a good way to start a relationship.
No, I was not always petty. I started being petty. I mean, I believe in karma and I believe in revenge. So you want to be petty, I'm going to be petty right back.
Well, if you believe in being petty, if you believe in karma, if you believe in revenge, why shouldn't this court believe that you believe in cheating?
But there seems to be more than just pettiness going on here. Why do you believe that?
Up until last year, she was a stripper at a strip club. And she had told I went there one time to go pick her up.
Okay.
And she had told the bouncer that to not let me in, and the manager, because I asked to speak to the manager. In the meantime, while this is going on, I see her walk across to go to a champagne room, which these gentlemen pay $150, $200 to go in and get a private dance. And there's a curtain closed on there. Come on, I know what goes on behind the curtain. And I mean, there's no cameras back there, so you tell me, I mean.
And you know about the champagne room.
Sounds like you do. Yeah. Tell me more about the champagne room.
Well, I'm just saying, just because that you go in the champagne room doesn't necessarily mean that there is sexual contact or sexual intercourse going on.
Amen. Amen.
You want to be very entertaining as a performer because the more engaged the club goers are, the more money that you're gonna make.
Right.
And the more liquor that they're gonna buy, that's where the club makes their money.
You know, I am really intrigued by how you know so much about what goes on in the champagne room. But right now, we're here for Mr. Lowe and Ms. Meyer. So
that's a post-forum discussion.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn my attention to them for the moment. But I will say the problem is what Mr. Lowe's concern is that people are paying extra money to go into the champagne room for a reason.
Correct.
They're getting special attention.
Yes.
Of a sexual nature.
Yes.
And you think that's why she's going to the champagne room.
Exactly, yes.
And you believe she told them not to let you in?
No, they told me that she told them that.
So,
Ms. Meyer?
It's more than bubbles popping.
More than bubbles popping.
Let me just say there was an incident where I did tell my manager and the bouncer, do not let him in, because he had come in before. He used to come in all the time and watch me dance, but it started getting to the point where he would interrupt my dance. Now you're messing with my hustle. You're messing with my money.
Okay, but they can see dancing out on the floor. These people, according to Judge Cutler here, who's an expert, say these people are paying more money to go in the champagne
They are
room.
paying more money for privacy.
So
Can I show you, Your Honor? I have evidence. Can I show you what I do on the pole?
Show me what you do.
Okay.
Miss Meyer, I gotta tell you, I never thought I'd say in my courtroom, show me what you do on the pole, but, you know, who knows? How about that, Ron? Okay. Oh, well, all right.
And are you saying that's as sexual as it gets in the champagne room?
Yes. It doesn't go any further than that.
Okay, all right. Has there been anything else that makes you think that Miss Myers is cheating?
Absolutely. There's a sugar daddy that she has that buys her a $7,000 van or whatever, and anytime that she meets up with this sugar daddy, so to speak, I'm not allowed to go with, none of that kind of nature.
And you
Not at all.
obviously think, what man is buying someone a $7,000 vehicle unless something's going on?
Exactly.
All right.
What man buys you a $7,000 vehicle?
You know, this is actually very absurd. This isn't even a question in the matter because he
It's a
did buy
question
me.
to me.
He did buy me a
The
vehicle,
same sugar
but
daddy?
he
Hold
drives
on,
that
man.
vehicle. He gives me money, but I split that in half with him. This is absurd. I have nothing more to say about it.
The same.
Hold on, Mr. Lowe. Okay, so you admit getting the vehicle, you admit this person gives you money.
Are you sleeping with him?
No, no.
Because that sounds like, he used the phrase sugar daddy. That's kind of what it sounds like.
If that was the case, then why is the same sugar daddy send you a text message with the text saying question mark?
Okay.
I did get a text that said that. I was sitting right next to him and showed him. I did not respond.
But here's the thing. You have a man who's bought you a vehicle who's asking, will you do oral sex? It sounds like he's now wanting something for the vehicle or the money you've been given.
Yeah, because I don't know many men who are going to pay $7,000 for, give a woman a $7,000
I do understand
vehicle.
that, but being a dancer, that's what we call regulars. We don't refer to them as sugar daddies. And he shouldn't be complaining because every time he met that sugar daddy, and he got half of everything I got. He was right there the entire time, and he drives the vehicle that I have also. Period.
So you're like, look, you knowing you're enjoying the fruits of my labor, and so don't be complaining about it now.
Exactly.
But you're saying your fruits of your labor, that labor doesn't include sex.
No, absolutely not.
Mr. Lowe, are there any other men that you are concerned about?
There was this one time I had a family member shoot me a text message where she was supposed to be at work, asking me if I was next door to her house, and I said no. Why? She said, well, your vehicle's been next door to my house for a couple of hours, and so I shoot Ashley a message. I said, what are you doing? What are you up to? She said, well, I'm at work. Then she comes strolling back to the house. I said, where you been at? She's like, I just got off work, and that was the end of it, and I didn't bring it up until just here today. And it supposedly turned out that it was her friend.
Is this friend a guy or a woman?
He's a guy.
Do you think that she's having sex with this male friend?
Absolutely.
But has she been to this friend's house before?
Yes.
What is it about this friend?
Okay, because this same friend drinks beer, and I found a 6-pack of beer in our fridge. Whenever we had gotten into an argument, I had left for the weekend, let things cool down. I come back, there's 6-pack of beer in my fridge.
And this is not a brand that you drink?
I don't drink at all.
Was the friend at your house?
Yes, he was. He was at my house, which, he's my friend. If he wants to come over, he can come over. He brought beer with him. I said, you could put it in my fridge. It was hot outside. You don't want it to get hot, put it in the fridge. Yes, I did go to his house and hang out with him, not during work, after work, and I had nothing to hide. We have GPS on each other's phone. He could track me the whole time. What was there to hide?
Okay.
But why did you tell Mr. Lowe that you were at work when you weren't?
No, I had just got off work. I did not tell him I was at work.
Do you remember him calling you while you were at the friend's house?
Yes.
Did you tell him on the phone that you were at the friend's house?
Yes, I did.
No.
Then
Yes,
you're
I did.
saying no, that didn't happen?
Nope.
Have you been completely honest with Mr. Lowe about all of these issues? Have you been truthful with him?
For the most part.
Oh, for the most part. Well, what part have you not been truthful about?
And we're not gonna go into that.
Are you still stripping?
No.
How long ago did you stop stripping?
In December of 2018.
Okay. Has that helped the tensions in the home?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
All right, Mr. Cole, I think we've heard enough.
And that's why this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, the court will call a certified polygraph examiner, Tommy Platt, to determine, is she cheating? On to the court with the Platt in.
Tommy Platt.
Mr. Platt, how are you today?
Wonderful, Your Honor. How are you?
Doing fine. Now, in addition to being a polygraph examiner, you also have a background in law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Tell us about that.
I was a sergeant of investigations for over 15 years.
All right. Mr. Lowe has some real concerns about Ms. Meyer being unfaithful, and we've heard testimony about that. What did your team do in this case to investigate that?
Your Honor, we had an associate that went undercover posing as a woman coming to court because she was too being accused of cheating. Ms. Meyer and my associate had small talk about why they were brought to court and the accusations made against them. There was plenty of back and forth conversation.
Was anything revealed?
Ms. Meyer did admit something to my associate, and I have the tape here.
All right.
Do you think you guys would, like, the trust issues would still go if you were, like, still stripping?
Oh, yeah. The last time I did it was in March of this year, but he doesn't know. I hope they don't ask me that, because...
About you stripping?
Yeah. About this year, because he doesn't know that I did, and...
You stopped in March?
Mm-hmm. I danced from December to March, but he doesn't know.
Is that correct, Mr. Lowe? You didn't know?
I had no idea.
Ms. Meyer, I point blank asked you about whether or not you were still stripping. Why did you lie?
Yeah,
I didn't think it mattered because between them time frames, we were actually split up.
But if it didn't matter, why did you lie?
I didn't want to start another argument.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. That's the beauty of sitting up here. I don't have to argue with you.
Well, Mr. Lowe, were you all split up?
We weren't split up like that.
You were not?
We were like on like a break, I guess you could say. I had moved out or whatever, but we were still seeing each other. We have a child together. We were still communicating. We were still seeing, hanging out, stuff like that. I just wasn't living there.
Was your break such that you weren't supposed to be sleeping with other people?
Correct.
Is that your understanding?
No.
All right. So, Mr. Platt, you also conducted a lie detector test. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You asked Ms. Meyer, have you ever had sexual intercourse with the man your fiancé, Mr. Lowe, believes is your, quote, sugar daddy? So what was her response?
Your Honor, she pled the fifth and refused to answer.
Ms. Meyer, you pled the fifth?
Yes.
You refused to answer on the grounds that your answer might incriminate you. That's what pleading the fifth is, and that's what you did, right?
Yes.
Okay, because you've been so forthcoming about everything else, you admitted. Why would you not answer that question?
Because it's absurd. There's nothing to talk about right there. Like, that's ridiculous that he would even say that. That actually makes me really angry and upset. So, I mean, I'm not answering anything about it.
But Ms. Meyer, you came here to clear your name. You say that's absurd. That's not what this is about. That's exactly why we're here. That's what's going through his mind.
If you haven't done anything, there's nothing to hide.
Personal reasons.
You realize you have not helped yourself with this. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand.
All right.
Well, we asked about the sugar daddy. Let's ask about the friend.
All right.
You asked Ms. Meyer, since the beginning of your relationship, have you had sexual intercourse with your guy friend, whose beer your fiancé saw in the refrigerator? What was her response to that question?
She stated no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being deceptive.
Why are you here?
He brought me here. Like,
do you want this relationship to work?
That was my next question.
In a way.
In a way?
Well,
when you say in a way, that means in a way you don't want to be in this relationship.
Mr. Lowe, You came here for answers. You're not getting them. How are you feeling?
I feel hurt. I feel kind of confused. I feel a lot of things, but I know one thing is that I'm walking away from this. You might as well just took a knife and hit me right here with it.
You get what you give.
I guess so.
And so, Ms. Meyer, you have no remorse about the fact that your relationship with Mr. Lowe may be over?
Nope.
I'm gonna go to you. Mr. Lowe, we have counseling available for you. You all have a child together. You are gonna have to co-parent and figure that out. And under this situation, I would tell you to moonwalk quickly out of this courtroom to your next life, okay? This is not where you wanna be.